welcome back to my channel. My name is Chana and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here I make videos all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 3. And today we're getting ready for Shabbat, but it's a little bit different today. Okay, so it is Friday and we are getting ready for Shabbat, and this video is a day in the life leading up to that. Like I said though, today's gonna be a little bit different. There's many things that are making today different. First of all, my husband is out of town. He went to spend Shabbat in New Jersey with some family that we have there. So I am without him, and that means that I am not sleeping well. That just, everything's just a little bit different when you take somebody out of the house. So that is going on. Now, today is also a little bit weird because my son is in a camp this week. So he's gonna be gone for most of the day, my oldest son. So that just kind of, again, changes the dynamic when you pull somebody out of the mix for a little while. So yeah, it's going to be a weird kind of Friday. It's almost gonna feel a little bit like a weekday, I think, for most of the day. So I started off the morning, I baked some scones, packaged them up. We're gonna bring them to a friend of mine and hang out with her for a little bit. She just had a baby, and my little 2 kids are gonna get to play with her kids. So that'll be a big chunk of my day there when my older son is in camp. And then after that, we're gonna start working on getting ready for Shabbat. So, all right, right now it is right at about 9 o'clock. I've been up since about 6. Again, not sleeping so great with my husband out of town, but I will say that this morning has been really quite lovely. Even though my kids woke up really early this morning, and that kind of threw off my morning a little bit because I thought I'd have more time to like bake alone, but that's okay. Anyways, it has been like this lovely pitter-patter rain outside all morning and this like gentle rumble of thunder in the background, and it's just kind of really set a mood for today that I find quite relaxing and quite lovely. It's like ambiance that you can't create yourself. So thank you, God, for that one. All right, so we are gonna go ahead and get on with our day. I've gotta start getting all the kids ready to get out the door and get my son to camp. And then we're gonna go visit my friend. All right, let's do this. Okay, it is raining, you guys. It's like pouring rain out here, but I have dropped my older son off at his camp and we are headed off to my friend's house to spend a little time with her, help her out, and get to visit. But yeah, dude, it is raining cats and dogs out here. But that's okay. I don't have to water the garden, and I also don't have to mow the yard. I feel like I get the day off when it rains from mowing the yard because I don't feel like anybody expects me to mow the yard when it's raining. So even if my grass is long, my neighbors won't care because it's raining, right? That's my logic. Okay, all right. We're gonna put the phone down and get to our friend's house. Okay, so we are just headed out from our friend's house now. We had a lovely visit, lots of baby snuggles, and we got to help out a little bit and just chat and catch up, and the kids got to play, so super fun times. And now we are headed over to the grocery store to pick up the last things that we need for Shabbat. And then I guess we'll head home because I think we have time to go home after that before we got to pick up Big Brother from camp. All right, is everybody buckled?
Yes.
Everybody buckled? Yes? Okay, all right. And we're off. The kids and I really enjoyed the grocery together. I just had the 2 little ones, so they got to pick out some fun yogurts for their breakfast, and we got some snacks, some grapes and things like that. I also got the 2 kids donuts there in the grocery store. Because my oldest son has celiac, we can't have the gluten at home, and they certainly, the little 2 kids certainly can't eat gluten in front of him because that would just not be very nice. And everybody is so understanding of all of this, but because I did not have my older son with me and it was just the little 2, we got a donut from the bakery and they got to eat it here in the shopping cart before we went home. So they were super thrilled the entire time we were at the store and covered in icing. It was such a blast. Hey guys, all right, home finally. Just a lot of running around, it feels like. So yeah, so we went to my friend's house. We went from there straight to the grocery store, and I just picked up the last few things that I needed for Shabbat, which I actually couldn't find 2 of the things that I wanted. I wanted some shredded cabbage to make some coleslaw, couldn't find that, and I wanted to have some baby corn, because baby corn is super fun and the kids enjoy that as a snack. Could not find that, but we did get some sushi. I just got a few trays like this of sushi for the kids and I to eat for our dinner tonight. And we picked up flowers because just because my husband is not here to buy flowers for me doesn't mean that I'm not gonna have my flowers for Shabbat. So I'm gonna put this stuff away real quick and arrange these flowers, and then it'll be pretty much time to go pick up my oldest from his camp. So I'll go get him after that and we can continue. Oh my gosh, the bread. See, I left it in the freezer again, and so it's frozen, but it will thaw out by tonight, and that's fine, and I'll warm it up before tonight anyways. But, and it's, what time is it even? It's almost 3 o'clock. So that is where we're at right now. I'm gonna work on this and continue with the day. Friday fun. All right, let's do this. I made quick work of unloading the groceries. There really were not that much. It was pretty much all stuff for Shabbat and then just a couple of pantry items and then those little snacks that we bought that all really went into the fridge. So that was easy enough. I did keep one of the sushi trays out for myself and I ate that real quick while the kids were occupied and before we picked up my son from his camp, just because I didn't really have lunch. We brought some lunch over to my friend's house, just like some sandwiches and snacks and stuff, but I didn't really eat. I just sort of snacked a little bit, so I was ready for a meal. But anyhow, doing the flowers now. The kids helped me pick this bunch out because it's 4th of July weekend. A lot of the flowers were all nice and patriotic, and I love red and blue in a flower bouquet. So this worked out fantastic for me, and I had fun putting them together. I had to get a little creative. It wasn't the normal bouquets like my husband buys, so it was a little harder to put together, but it was still good. It was fun. Okay, so it's definitely getting a little bit later on in the day here. I have picked up my son from his camp and we're all at home and the kids are taking turns in the shower or the bath, just getting themselves ready for Shabbat. And I'm kind of running around the house doing some of the last minute things like the laundry and a little bit of vacuuming. I spent some time cleaning the house yesterday, in particular last night after the kids went to bed, cleaning the bathrooms and things like that. So there wasn't really a whole lot to do as far as cleaning went, but I went ahead and did what I could. And I also put on some potatoes and eggs to boil those. I'm thinking I can make some kind of salad out of them for Shabbat, either for third meal or for tonight. We will figure it out, but if nothing else, I've got the option, and if we end up not eating them, it'll get eaten next week because I love having eggs with potatoes and my kids love having hard-boiled eggs. The last thing I really wanted to get done as far as cleaning was emptying the dishwasher, so I went ahead and knocked that out too. Okay, so at this point, Shabbat is only about an hour and a half away, maybe a little bit less, so I am diving into setting the table. I kept wanting to grab 5 of everything, 5 plates, 5 napkins, all that jazz, but we are only 4 tonight, and that's okay. It's a little bittersweet, but, we'll manage. The kids are excited for our slightly non-traditional meal tonight, even though we did just have sushi for Shabbat here pretty recently, but that's okay. So, I like to give you guys a little Jewish law here and there. So here is one. We are not allowed to separate on Shabbat. So one of the things that I am doing right here is I'm going ahead and separating all of these disposable chopsticks because I decided to make life easier on me and use some of the disposables. But I have to separate those before Shabbat because once Shabbat is here, I would not be able to do that. So that's why I was getting those prepared. So I'm giving myself a wine glass even though I'm going to be using the Kiddush cup when I make Kiddush tonight because my husband is not here. He would normally do that, so I will do that tonight. But I'm giving myself a wine glass also because I would prefer to drink my wine with the meal out of an actual glass and not out of the Kiddush cup. All right, flowers on the table and we are good to go. Okay, so because my husband is gone for this Shabbat, I have to do all of the jobs that he would normally do, like setting up the light switch covers. That's usually something my husband does, and setting up the Shabbat candles is something that my husband always does. but here I am doing it because he is gone. So I'm pulling out the old wicks from last week and the old tea lights that were burnt down, and I'm replacing them with new tea lights, and I'm starting to prepare the candles now. So I'm adding a little bit of water here to this one just because it for some reason was kind of low and I wanted them to be all a little bit more even. And now I'm adding some olive oil to each of those glass bulbs. We use floating wicks, so the wicks burn down the oil and then they just burn out once they hit the water. So I'm adding the olive oil to each one of those so that I can add the wicks next. Okay, so now that the wicks are in the oil, I am good to go with these candlesticks. They are ready for me to light a candle lighting. Hey guys, all right, so Shabbat is starting very soon, like in I think the next 15 minutes or so, but I wanted to show you quickly what we're eating tonight. Now, again, this is not a super traditional meal, and if you've seen my other videos, then you know that this is not a super traditional meal, but anyhow, okay, so I have got 4 of these trays of sushi, just one for what each of us likes. But before we serve the sushi, we are going to serve the bread, which right now the bread is back there in the oven. I set the oven to 200 just to warm up the bread a little bit, and the bread is in there wrapped in foil. So not to bake it anymore, but just to warm it up. So anyhow, next I've got some baba ganoush that my husband made last week. It's still left over, still perfectly good. I did end up buying some from the store while we were there yesterday, but because we've got his and his is going to be better, that's what I'm going to serve tonight. I've also got some guacamole that we picked up at Costco the other day, and I'm gonna put that out as well because we don't have avocados, and my kids love avocados at Shabbat. So it's not quite the same, but my daughter does love guacamole, and so do I, so at least it's something we can spread on our challah tonight. Okay, next I have my boiled potatoes, my hard-boiled eggs, and I've got some tomatoes. My mom grew some tomatoes in her garden. She dropped me off a ton the other day. So I am gonna be slicing up all of that and putting it on a plate together. So like with like a row of sliced potatoes, a row of sliced eggs, a row of sliced tomatoes. I will top that with a little bit of lemon juice, which, yes, I do have fresh lemon, awesome. So I'm gonna top it with a little bit of fresh lemon juice, a little bit of olive oil, and a little salt and pepper, just all of it, and then that will be a really fun salad. Oh, and I might chop up an onion to go in there as well, because we enjoy the chopped onion the same way. Okay, so anyways, that is my plan for dinner tonight. Lunch, we're out tomorrow. Third meal, I have no idea. I think we might be here at home, and we might even have some friends over, but we're gonna see that when we get there. Okay, so those are all of our Shabbat plans. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and call this video a close and go and light my candles. Well, pull the bread out of the oven first, and then I will go light my candles and we will begin our Shabbat. We're gonna wait on our meal for just a little bit until the sun is thoroughly down. So we'll probably do a little bit of reading or just playing together while we are waiting for that. But here in about 30 minutes or so, we will begin our meal, and then hopefully everybody will go to bed after that, but we'll see. All right, it's gonna be a little bit of a bittersweet one. You know, it'll be fun. It's always sweet because it's Shabbat, you know, but missing my husband. So that's always it's a little weird not having him here, but I'm glad I've got my kids here with me. So anyhow, calling this one a close. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I would super appreciate that. Let me know what kind of videos you guys enjoy, and it helps my channel out a lot. So thank you for that in advance. And please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Be sure to hit that bell so that you get all of your notifications. I hope that you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload.